was a conscious choice at Sant'Antimo in Italy to maintain the whole of the Gregorian repertoire. And that meant when it came to this particular feast, we had the longest of all the antiphons of the repertoire at Vespers, that of the Magnificat of the martyrdom of St. John the Baptist. It was a whole page long, with beautiful melody, rising in crescendo in this mode. All the glorious titles of the precursor, greatest of the prophets, and on, with one stronger than the other, going up to a maximum, were piled up, all going to a maximum and a culmination, and suddenly down. This was the prey of a dancing girl. And so it was that the head was presented on a platter. Some dancing girl, very refined, I would say. And why was this man such a nuisance? He was in the way. After all, everything is acceptable for kings, as it seems it is for everyone today in the marriage sphere. Who cares who is married to whom? And now we think we can implore the blessing of God upon marriages, no matter who or what is involved. It's as though we can invent the grace of God henceforth. It's the same kind of scenario in a different way that we have in our funerals. Man now presumes to pronounce judgment on the soul by giving such language each time that it is henceforth presumed that the person is in heaven. We have no right to do so, nor do we have a right to say who can marry who and who can be blessed in this marriage. It's the same then with regard to other abuses of grace, with regard to presuming that we can obtain grace, God's intimacy and favour and blessing, by receiving at any cost and in any circumstance Holy Communion, and our own condition. Our own condition may be anything from the observance or otherwise of the Eucharistic fast, or the very conditions needed to be able to receive it at all. Not to understand that is to go into this mode once again. I know how to obtain grace. Now, if we look at that, it's pathetic. It's basically saying, I have my spiritual life, my spirituality. And to prove it, look at all these things I know. With regard to this particular issue, we need to be aware that John the Baptist was not really part of the system as we know it once he had left that safe family nest at the death of his parents. He was very much an exception to the rule. The way he dressed, the way he ate, the way he spent his time away from men, it was not normal. It was far more respectable to be in the school of the Pharisees. And yet, we are told that he was the greatest of women born by the Saviour himself, his cousin. What happened? In the desert, he did not need books anymore. The Spirit of God became his interior master. We can, to some extent, seek that also. That emptiness and simplicity, that lack of wordiness and therefore dispersion and complication. That oneness of soul with the one is found in the eremos, in the desert, in the emptiness, the vacuum, the space where God and man, without clutter and without obstacle, can come eye to eye. How sweet is the sound of silence when grace fills.